Well, all right. Wednesday night, the night owls. I think it's actually my prime time between like 10 p.m. and 1 in the morning. I think when everybody's asleep and even the neighbors and just get to stay focused and do the editing. In my last stream, I was going to edit the second part of that shoot. It actually, I actually had to uh, finish that earlier, and I thought the house was so bad, so I don't want to edit them again, please. Just gonna see if everything works here. So I would much rather um, do something else. So I did another shoot today. I did finish the edit yes in the morning, and then I went to other shoots today. So I have imported them. I have uh, collected them into stacks, and I am about to edit them. And just thought that I would put it out there and just yeah, see what's happening. I am going to edit them anyway, so as you can see here, there's some here. I do already have some open in Photoshop, where I have done the pre-edit in Lightroom, which I do like this. Uh, Most of the time, I'm just selecting every image in the stack, just because if I do that, I do not accidentally select others, and so it keeps them in the stack. It's pretty neat. So and then I press D for develop, and I do some minor tweaks. It was pretty good day actually. Not much color cast from the ambient files. I actually think they're pretty good as they are. So, but yeah. Let's see. You have to bump it up a bit. So this is what I do. I will find like a white balance that I think looks good. It was very gray and very white in this, so it's kind of pretty easy. Actually, the camera got it right pretty much in the beginning. Maybe just a tad warmer in this, I think. And as you can see, I'm shooting with a lantern at the moment. Produces quite soft shadows, I think, and as you can see, it doesn't really bother the camera that much, even if it's almost shot directly. The light spreads everywhere. Of course, there's some color cast, but I think it's it's less color cast than when I bounce into the ceiling. At least for my taste, so it works pretty good. It is quite big. It is quite ugly to carry around, and yeah, but I think so far it produces the result I want. So I will keep going with that for a little while, I think. So yeah, these are the basic. I do the pop from behind the camera and one from the left and one from the right, to actually just to take aim from the windows to just give it some directional light. The other one, it's just to fill out some shadows if it has to, and just to cover myself. So this one in combination with this one will do the job, and the main light will be coming from this one in this case. And then we also have the ambient, which is as you can see, the quite similar in light. So some more shadows in this. I would just mute my phone. Got a text from my daughter. She's on her way home. Went to the movies. It's to hear that people actually go to the movies these days. Um, yeah, and then when I'm done with that, I just go back to the grid view. I usually collapse, and then I just do my shortcut for opening as layers in Photoshop. It will load up. It's yeah. I got the Lucas is in the chat, and is we talk about the lantern. He's you stopped using yours, the big one. How big was yours? I think mine is like it's a 50, I think. Yeah, I think it's what's the I think it's like CS 50 or the Godox one. So I think it's like 50 centimeters. I actually would like to try out the smaller one, the 30 centimeters, I think. It's a clumpy, yes, I know. And actually, you can get away with it. I was just, I like the soft lights. Uh, but in other cases, it depends on the gig as well. I think if you got all day and I would love to use some other modifiers as well, but I seldom get those gigs, so it's just shoot, run and gun. So yeah, but it's a big apartment. That's why it looks smaller in the photos. Yeah, it's quite a high ceiling. This is like built in the early 1900s, I think. So it's like I don't know, not the standard Swedish height, ceiling height. Well, all right. Enough chit chat about the other one. I will just. I think I set up the batch properly. So I will just. I have some images open. I will just do the action. One button click, and it will set up. Hopefully, all my files in the first stage of my two actions that I use. Pretty neat, and I think maybe because of the stream and such, take a little longer. And what actually takes time in these actions and these first actions is the aligning of the images, which I use the pre-blend in LUMENZIA for. So I like that. Yeah, the Photoshop one actually works well too, but I don't like the transparent pixels you get when they're aligning. So I do like to yeah, I do like to do that automatically, and then I don't have to bother with the risk of missing it. So yeah, so this is loading. I did shoot 2 shoots today, as I said. Actually, two good one. This is actually a realtor's house. So a realtor that I work for, and by law you're not allowed. Not by law, but I think it's like they have decided that between the realtor firms, I don't know, the agents, that you don't sell your own. Some of them actually has it. You can't. If you're a brother to a realtor, you can sell with that firm, and if you're a mother, or yeah, it's like it's just to be safe. So they do use another firm for this, who I also work with. So it's quite fun, but it was fun. So it's quite nice apartment. I think we're almost done. Yeah, this was the photo that I prepared when I started the stream. So this is the one, and as you can see, I do the just small like ambient blend with the files I have, put them in a group so I can use them for later. I do put that at the bottom for now. and then just work on the flashes. And I have the flash base actually hidden here. The flash base is duplicated twice, one in normal mode and one in darken mode. This darken mode I actually can use in lighten mode or screen mode as well, to depending on what I want from them. And these two are the side pops. I will start by blending these two. And in this case, I want most of this one. I actually might not need anything from the other one. So in this case, I actually do a white layer mask and just paint black to paint myself out of that. Can do a little higher flow. And in these cases, you get since this one underneath, this ugly shadow is not supposed to be there, of course. So, and I will take care of that with this one, the base flash, white on that black mask with a kind of low flow, and I just easily paint that kind of shadow away. Actually creates a new shadow behind there, but maybe the ambient file will take care of that. I do like the shadow from the left to the right, but I do want to be careful to not to have too much difference between the ambient file and the flash file shadows, because then you 100% gonna get some color casts. Even this I will reduce by just painting. And this little fella is caused by the flash that is shot from behind the camera. The highlight in the frame. And do like this, and I just even out the ceiling a bit. Careful that I don't create any new shadows. That is ugly. There you go. So Lucas, I'm waiting for your stream, of course. That's why I felt bored, so I did this. I would like to get some popcorn and just watch you edit your photos. And as you can see, this is the darkened one. You can actually see what it does. I don't like that. I want to have some definition in. Maybe just paint some away from here to match the ambient a little bit better. Yeah, and then then I feel like I'm done with this. I would just press F4 in my case to continue the action, and what that does, it actually puts the flash, the newly created flash layers on the bottom. It moves the ambient files and enables it on top of that. And this is with a gray layer mask, 50% gray, the same as 50% opacity. And underneath, I have a prepared like curves layer that I can just move up and down. Maybe get some contrast if I want to. And then I also have this highlight protector. If you have seen any of my other videos, it just creates like a protection from the craziest highlights from the ambient layer. And then I reduce the density to like 50%. So if I pull that all the way up, the mask looks like this. So it kind of protects the ambient from coming through the windows. But I like to have it a bit lower, because I can also, if I want the same effect, I could just paint black on the ambient layer mask. And if I want some more, I can just, it's a quite dull day out there. And the view isn't that nice, so I think I will get it like foggy windows. We'll actually move this one. You see, if I move it further down, it actually just lets more of that light in. So it's a neat little thing, I think. Let's see what happens if we just paint some more ambient. In this case, yes, I like that. Natural shadows. I don't love that those lines that happens when the light doesn't hit the whole floor. Just creates that line. I don't like that, so I usually just try to fade it out by reducing some of the ambient. But I do like my ambient, my natural light on the furnitures, and also I do like uh, you get those soft, nice hot spots on the walls. Just to it really shows you that the light is coming in from the windows and hitting it. So I'm not a big fan of big highlights in the floor, but some I do like, because I do aim for quite natural feel. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good actually. Yeah, the colors, nothing that I'm too, uh, nothing that I'm going to fix now. Maybe in Lightroom later if I see something that's bothering me. And then now I just press F9, which is an action for the Nick color effects, and it doesn't do that much. Just a little bit of contrast and a little bit of glow in the highlights, so it gets a bit like soft feel that I like. And then I just flatten this. I do try the auto contrast, maybe fade that to like 50%. I will show you another thing that I created. I created like a I've been playing around with it. Let's see, where is it? It's like I'm using LUMENZIA to make luminosity mask for the shadows and the highlights, and then create some adjustment layers in a group. I just have to find it. I think I called it, yeah, color crafts. You see, it's a test, so because this is a test. So it actually creates two groups with the luminosity mask, one for the shadows and one for the highlights. And then I put in that I did put a exposure, hue saturation, a curse layer. The exposure, I think the gamma is quite nice feature sometimes to just pump up the contrast. And in this case, it just does it on the shadows. Of course, I will show you the layer mask. It looks like this. The white are the shadows that are the blacks that are selected. So I can just, if I crank it up really much, you can see it. It protects the highlights from this. You can also do exposure if you want. The offset is a bit of the same. I don't know the terminology. I don't know the science behind this, but the gamma can get some punch, even with the offset on the opposite way. Can get some punch. I don't know. I usually just do the gamma if I'm using this, and the hue saturation, same thing. It just as you can see, it does come into the midtones, I think, a bit, because there are some gray, so it actually pulls through even there. But for the most part, you can just like lower some saturation in the blacks, and you can punch it by going down on the lightness as well. And the same thing goes for the highlights. This mask, and you can actually just, if I crank this up, you can see there used to be, yeah, if I crank it up 100, you can see there are some coloration, some colors in that. So I can just pull that down a bit if I want. So yeah, I was just going to show that. I like that. There's so much you can do. Put in your workflow. I won't be needing that now. I am done with this. I will save this and I will close that. So, and because I did the batch, batch action. Uh, all the files are ready, so I'm just, yeah, when I close one, you can just start on the next. This adjoining room, I did have myself in this little mirror here. So easy if you're not careful. Now we'll do like I do have an action for lighten and for screen. Try screen in this case. I will deselect this for now and just see what these two. Yeah, mirrors. Gotta love them. I do like mirrors because I think they make our job a little easier to just show more of the room sometimes. You see, like, sometimes you can see on more sides. So, but I don't like being in them, especially when I'm not beach ready. Right? But this is the light that I think is the best fit from this. I like the way that it comes from. There's a balcony here. There's some windows here. So I will actually hide this one. And then I will just paint myself out by painting white. It's like magic. It's like magic. I have to be careful around like the curtains and stuff. Always creates those ugly shadows. Looks bad when they. And as you can see, when you do have an adjoining room with if you put it in screen, see if I put that in lighten room, it gets a little bit dark. Lighten room, lighten. It gets a little bit darker. But I like the screen sometimes. But if you're not careful, it's gonna send some bright pixels in the other room as well. So I have a neat little trick for that. I do like a rough selection. I press M for the marquee tool. I do like a selection around the opening for the joining room. And then I have like, yeah, 200 pixels feather plus mask. So what that does, it's creates a mask, feathers it. I think that was pretty big actually. Feathers it and put it in the mask. So in this case, it's just that room that is uh, affected. So if I see if I remove the mask, it actually in the windows there's a lot of bright pixels. I don't want that. So yeah, and then we'll just have an action as well, depending on where I am in my layers. I just press Shift F1 and it jumps to that mask with a white brush. I can just start painting. And I do put my screen layers, light and layers. Oh, this is interesting. Actually moved the curtain. That looks bad. Why? Did I do that? I hope not. Maybe I did. Yeah. Easily fixed though. Yeah, like I said, I do put my adjoining room, the lighten and the screen modes underneath that layer for starters. And if you can see, if you're not careful, I will paint away that effect. But it's not harder than you just get. Did I paint on that now? Yes, I did. Huh. Oh, I painted on the layer. All right. Now, if I paint on the mask and just paint around this door, you can see it darkens it. Sometimes it's hard to get like precision around the door. So what you do then is just take that layer and put it on top and it won't bother you anymore. So let's see. I don't like that highlight. Can paint that away. Bit bright in here. See the curtain is moved in the too bad. It's too bad shadows in this. Yeah, what to do? I will not. I will not walk on fire for this. So this whole apartment took me around like, I think it went on like an hour, 15 minutes, I think. I like when you get into the house when uh, and they're ready, just ready to shoot. I love that. You take a lot more pictures, but I think the time is everything in those cases. I think. Don't like that shadow. What's happening? Oh, I just did paint on. So easy to paint on the layer instead of the layer mask. I don't know why. There you go. Let's call that done for now. Just press F4 to go to the next set, next part of this actions. Now we'll just, yeah, try it out. Try those things out. This is an easy way to see where the highlight protector, I do like the darkness it gets in the mirror, but I can just paint that. I don't want this this view in this image as well. Actually, put like a low flow. Oh yeah, even the ambient has. God, what happened now? Did I not complete that? Let's do it like this. Now it's the flash only again. Oh, all right. I did. Um, add, I did enable the darken layer. That's why. Yeah, good enough. That limits me in this. Maybe I will just crop this later. Crop in a little more. Maybe I don't need this ceiling. I don't know. Let's move on with our lives, shall we? So, or maybe later I will just because this is you're allowed to. How do you say it? Fire. You have fire in this. I don't know the words in English for. In Swedish, it's kakelugn. So now you have learned the Swedish word of today, kakelugn. It's like if you translate it like word for word, it's like tile oven, and the tiles comes from the tiles, I think. So if someone wants to teach me the English word for kakelugn, I'd be glad. Good for now. I can see there's some miscoloration in this, I think. Just remove some of that. I don't know if it's a reflection from the curtain or a shadow from the curtain, maybe, but it's better, I think. Oh, I did Nick color effects on that. I will flatten this. I will put a auto contrast 50%, and then I'll save it, and I will let it rest for a while in Lightroom, where I do my final edits later on. And I think that's a good thing to just edit and then yeah, take a break, get back to it. And what I usually do, I just when I have done this basic edits in Photoshop, I'll let them sit in Lightroom for a while. So maybe I will go a little bit faster now and just not talk too much. So about everything and everything else. So let's see. I will use the white mask on this one. I will paint myself. An easy way to change your flow on your brush is does someone use opacity? I don't. I always have my opacity at 100. I know you can get paint like very carefully with the opacity, but it makes me crazy. But I use only the flow, and an easy shortcut if you don't use it, I think you should use it because it's so easy. You press Shift and then the number 5 for 50, for example. And I have 30. It's Shift 3. If I press Shift 1, it gives me 10%. And if I do it like faster, 1 3, it gives me 13. I would like to have another shortcut for like to go under 10 because I have to use two hands the way I do my work. So because I like if I want 5%, I press Shift 0 5. So if someone knows another shortcut, I'd be glad to know that as well. Yeah, let's go. Shift F1 to just go to the base flash, paint away some shadows. I like the shadows on this side of the bed. Same thing with actually this picture that is in there. She wanted it there because she wanted something there, but this is like personal stuff, and I don't recommend personal stuff. So I will when I edited everything, and I do maybe have some changes, some bigger changes I need to do, like removing cords and cables, and that bothers me. I do an extra run in Photoshop with like the remove tool, or maybe to do some generative fill and change the change the picture to something else. I don't know, but I know the American rules are quite strict, but I don't. Yeah, there's rules in Sweden as well, but I haven't heard of any that someone that has done something that's not allowed and or get punished for it, or something like that. I do get some questions sometimes. I'm sure you do as well if you're doing this. Uh, if you can you fix that hole in the wall? Can you repaint? I'm going to repaint next Saturday. Can you repaint it? And I think like this, that if it's something I can fix on site, if I'm there, if there's a lot of cables under the bed, I'm able to crawl under the bed and just remove them. And if that's so, in this frame, I can actually remove that as well. And if that's so, I don't have a problem with it to remove it digitally. But when it comes to fixing stuff like holes in the wall, I've done it once, and he actually promised me dearly that to fix it before the open house, and he did. So yeah, let's see. What we'll do. I'm not focusing. I'm just focusing on everything else right now. So don't like the color in this one. It's a bit dull as well. I don't know if I showed you. I do when I create in the action, it actually create layer comps of the ambient files, and so it's like in 3 different states. So I can. The original is the first one, and I do have one that is lighter. As you can see, it bumps it up a bit. And I have one darker. Pretty cool thing to. It takes some time to do manually, but if you do it in the action, it takes no time at all. So maybe I will do it a little lighter. Maybe we can use some. Maybe we can do some contrast instead on this one, medium. Yeah. I will do a neck color effects. And I will. What will I do? Yeah, it bumps it up a bit. I will flatten it. I will do another contrast. And maybe I will just fix that later. I'm good for now. I have seen enough of this image for now. Yeah, it's another one. In this case, I will do like in another way. Instead of creating a black or white layer mask, I can create a gray layer mask and do like this and just paint myself out from both sides instead. So just another way to blends a little bit more from the start. So I press X to take the black brush and I paint myself out on that side. And I will go to this one. Just get rid of. Oh, I'm still there. Yeah, I did miss the adjoining room in this one. Doesn't really matter, I think. These just a bit. Let's see if we do something like this. Maybe just you do also, you're able to just select the mask and instead just drop the density a bit. Select the opacity for the mask. I like that. And if I duplicate that, I go back to 100 and I will put that in screen. See what that gives us. Get some more from. No. Is it worth it? No, I don't think so. Maybe just a tad here and there. I don't like the flower to be much brighter. Yeah, let's move on. These highlights on the floor, I think I don't like those. So I know they're in the ambient, in the flash as well, but I will reduce them depending on where they are. Those are the natural shadows. I like those. It should be like, yeah. And if you think you like paint too much, and instead of wanting to go back and paint with black, you can even, after each brush stroke, also do the fade. Go to 50% and you get to the fade by pressing Command Shift and F. It's a pretty neat shortcut to remember. Yeah. Let's see what happens if we just move around the sliders a bit just to see where things are. Kind of like that. I do like, I don't want, maybe if I just remove some more. What do you guys prefer in your real estate photos? Do you want the like TV screen windows with a window pool 100%, or I do not have any uh, hardcore opinion on that. I think it varies from property to property, and the interior design, and um, yeah, the weather, the winter in Sweden. Actually, it's fun to go back to pictures you took in the summer. The light is so different, so different than they are right now. So, and as you can see, this is quite crooked, uh, and it's not only me. The house was actually there was no straight walls. Uh, so it's kind of hard sometimes. So you have to do the best of it. But yeah, let's see later in when straighting it. This is yeah, you get like seasick when you look at this. Yeah, go like that. Mhm. Yeah, now we'll flatten that. Give it a little punch. Save it. Let it rest for later. Right. Same thing here. Let's see what we have here. I will actually put a black. No. Yeah. Black layer mask on that. Paint in some of the white. I will make sure not to get the lantern. I will make a group. I will put it in screen mode. And in this case, I do think that I only, yes, I do not have the right pop on this one. Um, only the left. But that was because I know I don't want any light from this, and I can blend the left pop with with the base flash. Good enough. Do want some shadows on that base. I like it, the ability to take away the nastiest of shadows. Let's see, let's put that on top. You can also play with the opacity if you want to. Don't want the adjoining room to be brighter than the other. So, let's see. Yeah, I think this is a bit bright. We'll lower that, bring that back, and I will just check if I can play a little with the curves. Looking at the other screen now, so it's so interesting to. I do think that shadow actually comes from this, right? That be so? Yeah. So if the ambient can save you, something else can. Let's see. Yeah, I do like that. Come to think of it. No, the other way around. Paint more white. There you go. Now we'll put the neck color effects. see what that did. Yeah, brightens it, punches it like that. And as you can see, I will show in the next photo. I have two layers that I haven't touched yet in the action, but those are for days with more dynamic range and more color issues. I think this is pretty neutral, and it was just a plain white sky during the whole day. So actually, the sun was up, sun was out in the early hours, and I did get a call like, "Oh, the sun is out. We haven't seen the sun for quite some time, and can you take some drone shots on this area?" It was like a, I don't know the word in English. It's like a, yeah, the word in Swedish. Here's the second Swedish word for you. It's tomt. It's like an area where you buy the land. Is that it? That's the word. That's the word. Yeah, yeah. Wanted me to photograph some land for sale, and I thought, yeah, of course. 20 minutes later, the sun was gone. So, and then it has been like that for the whole day. But what can you expect when you live in Sweden on the winters? We actually had this has been a very kind winter, so to say. It hasn't been freezing cold. There's been some slippery roads during some times and creating chaos, but not that much. I can't stand worse weather than we've had this winter. I hope that will not bite me in the ass now to get like minus 20 Celsius and snowstorm for the rest of February, March, and April. Let's see, what do we have here? Yeah, I want most of that, so I will paint myself out here. Like a high flow. A little mismatch in the exposures, I think. The good thing is that if you just make a mistake, just switch the brush and undo your mistake. Play with the flow. Not be so brutal on the brush. And now I go to the base flash to just remove some shadows. It's getting repetitive. But what if you didn't use the actions? It would be even more repetitive. Now, this is the fun stuff, I think. So now we'll just put that on top. Maybe do like a mask. Maybe what happens if I just paint? Darkens it a bit too much. I can use this maybe. Put that on top and have like put it in screen. See if I can just tame that shadow. Yes, look at that. There's so much things you can do, and there's so much I don't know yet how to do. But that's what I like. That's why I like to listen to other ones doing this. You always get some little nugget, even if it's stuff you already know, because sometimes they do it in a different way, better way, easier way. Sometimes, actually, I have found that when I switch like workflow, I mean, there's not a million ways, but there's several ways to do the same thing in different orders, and sometimes I can think it's just refreshing to do it another way than you've been doing for the last, I don't know, couple of months, just to get a new start. The effect is the same, the result is the same, but yeah, someday you just happens to get an idea and try something out and it works, and yeah, you put that in your workflow. Let's see. Yeah. Now I will show you the other one once I was talking about I would do like a medium contrast, I think, on this. Should we get the darker one? Not the lighter one, we'll take the original. No, no, no. Yes. Maybe I will just. Yeah, the other layers I haven't talked about yet are these two. Um, the ambient fix is just it's a duplicate of this one, but it is set in, instead of luminosity, it's set in color mode. So if I oh, just wait, I think this one is still in luminosity. I put that in normal mode. No change. No. So this is actually more of the colors from the ambient file, and sometimes that's a good thing because there's, I mean, the flooring, I do like that color a bit more than the more orangey that I will take care of later. Sometimes the ceiling gets whiter with this, but most of the time uh, I don't use the whole. I use parts of it. Just paint in where I see fit. And it's also a good thing, like I do have the lights off in these images, but if you do like flash ambient with the lights on, you more many times get the whiter light from the bulbs, because yeah, because of the, you don't get the glooming from the flash shots, from the lamps in the flash shots. So, and this is a good way to just, sometimes you can just paint in more of the luminosity around it if you get some gloom, and then you just take this one and you paint like I can paint on the floor as well instead here. If I paint on the floor, you can see it gets that color. But if I had a lamp, it was on, the color got white from the flash layers, I can just paint in some of that yellow. So that's a cool little trick. It's just it's like a safety net. And if I do, if it's too bright, I can also tame like the highlights in a duplicate of the flash pops on top in darken mode. So maybe I see like a reflection on. I do like that one, but if you can, if I paint it on this leaf on the flower, it just removes that. And this is also a good thing for if you want to see more through the windows. I don't want that in this image, but yeah, maybe here you get a little more darkness where the pixels from the flash layers are darker than the ambient file, of course. So yeah, that's about it. If you wonder what those were, so I'd always put them there. The action puts them there, and I use it sometimes. Sometimes I'm getting tired at the moment, so I think we will end this quite soon. I will do some more, one or two more, I think. Maybe go even faster. I do save that. I would like to know, do you guys, do you use actions in your workflow? I do sound like a broken record, but I think I actually think they are very handy for me. I didn't do it for a while, but once I started using them, it's hard to go back. Even I do like to press buttons on keyboards. I do. Don't get me wrong, but if you take like, yeah, it's like an average. I am an overshooter. I'm very good with my clients. I do shoot Lots more than I should actually, but it's because I think it's fun. I do. Oh, so yeah. So I think like average 30. That'd be it. Maybe that's slow. I don't know how many images it was in this actual case, but this is on the high side for apartments. Because when you shoot like villas and houses, uh, you always have the exteriors, especially in the summertime. I don't like to limit. I should. I should actually do that. I should actually limit because sometimes I don't. I only get paid in goodwill and more work. I should get paid in money instead. I think it's hard sometimes to value your own work. You know what to do, you know what you think, but then when push comes to shove, you have some issues sometimes to see here. Now I disabled the mask, and this is the color from the ambient layer. And in this case, it's a lot more color cast. I don't like that, so this is good use of flash, I think. Should we darken some more? No, I don't think so. I like that. Maybe just got a little bit of hot spot here. Can we do something about that? What's that stupid glass? Stupid glass. Oh, there you have some. You can paint some white there, right? But that already. No. Yeah, maybe we just do like uh, press F5 for the color range picker. And this, I will probably say this every time, but I'm so glad that I picked this up from Lucas. Maybe I will link to Lucas' channel in the description when I'm done. And he's yeah, I did know about the color range and stuff, but I did not know about I did not I hadn't figured out the cluster thing, and that's actually amazing, I think. So thank you, Lucas. Shout out to you. Just maybe remove some opacity from that. Yeah. And then do the Nick color fix. Yeah. Flatten this. And I do flatten my layers for real estate because I don't want them to take up so many terabytes of data. I think the layered ones are like, I don't know, gigabytes when you shoot in raw and you layer them. And actually, this one now flattened is like 113, 114 almost megabytes. So, and that's small. Did I flatten it now? Maybe I can do it like this. Yeah, 2.44 gigabytes. But is that? I have to check that. It says document one. Ah, yeah. I think it's maybe I've done this all to waste. But I actually I very rarely open up an old real estate photo layered and then do changes. I rarely do that. So the time spent saving is actually more the time spent sending a larger file. I think that time combined is bigger than the times I have re-edited a photo. So You have to be smart. And I actually haven't gone back to old images for not much more than my own sake, because I like to re-edit my stuff sometimes. I actually think that is pretty good from the get-go. I will just use the best, not that one. I don't want to. Let's see if no. Yeah, of course. No, I like the shadow that gets me. Maybe just a tad more light. Should we? Yeah. I like how you can, with the files combined, just tame reflections and highlights if you have a system to do it. Like this little fella here, that shadow from the tap. Is that the word? It's okay. This is the third and last Swedish word you'll learn today. Check back for more. Duolingo real estate photo. It's this. The name in Swedish is kran. Vattenkran. It's like water tap, I think. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, what to go? I actually think I will lower this. I like the ambient light in this kitchen. I will create a little more contrast. I will try to a little darker. I think it's too dark actually. Yeah, I don't like the view. I do like, in these cases, I like when the shadows on the floor are so like even. I do like the ambient light to create some hot spots in the floor. I do like that. I don't like the straight lines. Like I said before, I usually just try to, let's see, that's a more natural shadow on this vattenkran or water tap. Yeah. Um, just remove some colors from the ceiling here. Let's see. I think it's also very common that you have these like off-white kitchen cabinets. They look white when you're in the room, but but you photograph them and you have like, and you watch closely, they're much yellow, and add like a orange brown floor on the images, you get a lot of yellow and orange. But I think it's good for now. I will let this, maybe I will do the Nick color effects. Yeah, good stuff. Some, I actually like the contrast in that. I can also add some more contrast in Lightroom later. Do you guys swap skies in real estate photos? Like in these ones, with do you add blue, or do you send your photos to an editor that does it for you? Or I have done this in many different ways. I used to, a long time ago, I used to work for like the photo mills, as if you can call it that, the low paying, uh, yeah, do it all. Uh, it's good for starters, but it was a lot of hard work. But later on, I felt like the only thing I did was press a button. I um, went to people's home, was was nice, was funny, had good conversation, put down the camera, bracketed 3 to 5 shots, next room, next room, next room, done, next house, yeah, 5 to 6 times a day. When I got home, or even in the beginning, we actually just uploaded the images in the car between the between the shoots. So when you got home, you were done. But as a creator, that was killing me actually. Um, I did not like that. I like the combination, of course, when you have lots and lots to do. You don't have the time, but you still want to, um, yeah, meet your client's need. Of course, I also send files for editing. But the day I started to do more of my editing myself, I actually fell in love with the work all over again, and that is pretty cool, I think. And I've done this for like, I don't know, is it 2 years now? I do I do a lot of stuff in the photography genre, but I would be lying if I said that uh, real estate wasn't a big part of it, especially since the pandemic hit, when everything else just disappeared. No one got married. No product shots. No businesses who needed their corporate headshots. No sporting events. No, yeah. But the business inside real estate was blooming, so that was good to have. I must confess, to be honest. Yeah. So in the last 2 years, I've been editing most of my photos myself, and I do almost shoot flash ambient every single shoot. Sometimes I just edit the HDR, the ambient, but um, I don't think it takes so much more time on site with the flash if you know what you're doing, and if you have a system that is that you can save in Photoshop later. Because yeah, it doesn't always get it 100% right. That's the beauty of it as well. I think I like that we can evolve. We can learn new stuff. We can learn new techniques. Yeah, there's so much we can do, and that is actually that it was what drives me in this. I don't want to. I think that's what got me like bored on just going around places and pressing a button without even have to think about what the results were, because the editors overseas were actually so good that they did save your mistakes as well. So the good thing with editing your own photos is you learn what works and what doesn't, and in that case you can just skip doing the same mistakes next time. I think that's a very good thing. Uh, so even if you don't edit your photos all the time, I think you should know how to edit some photos just to know how to shoot better in It's in cases, I think. That's my opinion. Yeah. We have one more. Should we do that? Yes. Let's do it. Let's do this. Then I have to go to bed. Go to bed. That may be a lie. Like I said, it's prime time. Prime time. Now we'll start with this one. And I will put that in screen mode. A neat little shortcut is when you for the blending modes is that if you press Option Shift and then S for screen, G for lighten, Y for luminosity, N for normal,